So good morning and thank you for joining the Hiremii Limited Investor Briefing. My name is Jane Morgan and today I'm joined by Hiremii's Managing Director and CEO, Andrew Horby, who will be providing a company overview and engaging in a Q&A session. To ask a question throughout today's presentation, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. Andrew, I'll pass on to you.
Thank you, Jane, and thanks to yourself and Katrina and the JMM team for the opportunity to present this morning. It's a privilege and a great time to be talking about AI. I think in terms of the fundamentals of the industry and the fundamentals within the Hiremii Limited business is really aligned at a very, very interesting time. So without further ado, we'll jump straight in. So quick disclaimer, you can see this on the website if you'd like to have a good read. Jumping into the corporate overview. So look, I'll just point to a couple of things here, which I think is important to note. We've got a market cap of about 6.3 million at 5.4 cents, which is there or thereabouts where we are at the moment. We've got 1.5 million cash in the bank approximately. From a shareholder distribution perspective, we've got about 66% locked up between the top 20. So it's a tight register, which I think is good, particularly at this size of market cap. And I think there's plenty of opportunity there for shrewd shareholders. So about Hiremii. So Hiremii is a technology-driven company with two core complementary business units. And I think it's really good to sort of get an understanding of those two core complementary business components. So first and foremost, Hiremii Technology is an innovative cloud-based recruitment platform that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to enable organizations to hire the right people at speed and at scale. We use a combination in the platform between OpenAI's GPT and our own proprietary Hiremii AI technology. And the platform currently automates a lot of the manual tasks associated with the recruitment process. We do job advert writing, we do candidate shortlisting and ranking, and we currently enable that to be shared between teams. So if you're a hiring manager, for example, and you've got a team that's reviewing CVs, that person can easily rank, shortlist, and send that on to a decision maker around an interview process. So it's really good. It enables somebody internally to focus on quality recruitment process, candidate care, and culture fit, which is obviously something that's extremely important within the process. So Inverse Group. So Inverse Group provides recruitment expertise to some of the world's leaders in oil and gas, resources, emerging battery metals, renewable energy, and technology. The company's focused on white-collar permanent placements, long-term contracting, and payroll solutions. And established in 2017, the group are now recognized as market leaders for service quality and delivery. Over the past 5 years, the company's delivered consistent growth over that period of time, including 144% revenue growth in H1 FY23 to 9.4 million. So we're getting into some reasonable numbers now. We've hired an experienced leadership and recruitment team during the second half of 2022 and early 2023 in response to the demand we're seeing from a rapidly growing contractor and client book. And we're very confident of delivering on those sort of ambitious goals that we have internally. So what's the broad problem on a sort of global basis? It's an interesting one. So recruitment's becoming increasingly challenging for job seekers, recruiters, and employers. Often the process is bogged down in difficult, time-consuming manual tasks. They're hindering businesses from securing quality talent to drive bottom line and continued growth. We're currently seeing candidates everywhere in the world frustrated by a lack of transparency, feedback, good opportunities, and timely responses, while employers are still struggling to quickly and efficiently identify and match quality talent. Unemployment's at a historic low level, which is providing more challenges to organizations. And high growth industries in particular new energy, technology, for example, are facing unprecedented challenges to secure the manpower needed to keep up with demand. Talent pools are expecting to decline over time, I guess, as a population ages, and new skill combinations, such as the energy transition that the world is currently going through, are needed. So, what's the solution? So, the launch of artificial intelligence products like ChatGPT, and I suspect that everyone who's here today has had some experience with ChatGPT. It's certainly on the tips of everyone's tongue at the moment, from personal use to business use. So it's a really, really good time. ChatGPT is currently revolutionizing the way that we live. It is creating a lot of excitement, but it's also creating some trepidation across the globe, particularly as we navigate its far-reaching and at this stage, not quite understanding its potential impacts. So I think while AI will never necessarily replace the value of a human connection, those who recognize the ability to streamline those manual processes, such as low-value administrative tasks, and integrate it into their operations, those will be the organizations we think that will thrive in the future world. 60% of recruiters' day is spent on manual administrative tasks, and I think that is to note both external and internal within organizations. So Hiremii's unique cloud-based offering promises to streamline the manual repetitive aspects of the recruitment process, from large enterprise users to SME organizations and recruiters alike. And that's looking to free up people in that process to focus on high-touch aspects of the process that require the real human connection. What I'd like to do, sorry, skipped a bit there, is just to steer people towards the flywheel on the right-hand side of this slide. And this is where Inverse Group supporting Hiremii is really quite an interesting proposition. So we're able to come up with good quality products in Hiremii as a technology business. We have a good quality recruitment company with experienced consultants that we can talk to validate ideas. Not only are we validating ideas, but Inverse is also generating cash and informing Hiremii. So that's enabling some support in terms of we don't have to necessarily go to market and raise money to invest in other new products. We've got a strong fundamental business underlying. And I think just at where we are in the world today, I think that's a really good thing to have as a business. So the technology opportunity at the moment for Hiremii, just to let shareholders know sort of where we are. So at the moment, the Hiremii platform focuses on sourcing and application, processing and matching. So essentially, we're able to automate jobs. Candidates can come in, we can parse those candidates, which is the transfer of structured data within a CV into digitized data onto the platform. We can classify using some really complex AI and semantic tagging of each of those nodes and connection points, so that we're really harnessing what an experienced recruitment person would do, but we're able to automate it. And I'll talk to that in a bit more detail later. So from that perspective, we're able to get candidates in, match them, shortlist and rank them and provide them back to our customers. And trials, which I'll talk about shortly, are going really well. So ultimately, our goal is to become an end-to-end. So we want to take that from the very beginning as a recruiter would, or an internal recruitment person, or an internal hiring person in, say, an SME. From the very beginning, when you're going to engage the market, to the very end when you offer a candidate and onboard them. And that includes the verification, the interview processes, and the assessment. Now, what we're really excited about, and it is on the roadmap and it is part of the journey, is what we say there about talent intelligence. So we're collecting an awful lot of really important data about the people within these organizations. And with that data, we're able to present some really interesting information back to organizations. This is going to help those organizations finding hidden talent. It's going to help them identify skill gaps, and it's going to reduce search spend for them. So there's a really clear roadmap of what we're looking to do within the Hiremii business at the moment, which we're very, very excited about. So our target market for growth opportunities. So as we touch on here, globally, from a USD perspective, the human resource and recruitment service industry is currently valued around 761 billion in revenue. That is just the external recruitment industry. That's not including organizations and how they hire themselves internally, which is also what we're very excited about. So Hiremii is streamlining recruitment for strategic high growth industries that are struggling to secure talent. There's a very old traditional model, and we're looking to disrupt that. So we're working with large organizations seeking a specialized, high quality, high qualified workforce in a limited talent pool. We're also empowering SMEs without recruitment teams to be more effective and cut out the high cost of potential intermediaries. Just touching on Inverse Group as a standalone and how that is seeking to both inform and underpin the investment that we're making into the Hiremii business. So Inverse is a dynamic, high growth business. It was founded in 2017, as we touched on earlier. You can see from the half year growth that we've achieved some really, really consistent growth, particularly since the first half of 2022. Just to, I guess, address, there's a little bit of flatlining in there, is post-COVID. Obviously, that was a reasonably challenging time, but within Inverse itself, we actually changed the structure of the business somewhat, and we closed our blue collar business to focus on low risk, high quality, white collar work. So that work is being addressed with significant large global players within energy and resources. What it enables us to do is we undertake long-term contracts that are low risk. So we're able to forecast what we've got going forward. We're comfortable about and confident we know where we're going. And also the business is there to inform and support Hiremii. So we were very proud of doubling the size of the business last year. As we mentioned, we've doubled the size of the hiring team in anticipation of continued growth. And we do see significant market share opportunities in WA. This is a new slide for us, so we wanted to provide some context around the type of organizations that we're working with. So you have some confidence that the Inverse business is a high growth. These are just some of the names. We have about 40 active customers at any given day. And some of these customers are fairly new to our business. Some we were invited to work with, which is fantastic because the company is really getting well known now. And it is at the table with the top global recruitment businesses. So for example, Beach Energy, we just secured a new 2-year master service agreement with Beach. We're very proud of that. And we're looking forward to continue to support them. Some of the other companies that's in there, large infrastructure, new energies in terms of hydrogen, ammonia, and battery metals as well. Albemarle being one of, if not the world's largest. So we do have a really strong suite of diversified customers there that are underpinning our confidence going forward. So just broadly, our strategic plan, I'll just whiz through this. So Hiremii is focused on lean product development. So we're a small business at the moment. We are managing shareholders' money, investors' money really sensibly, and we're validating what we're doing in terms of the Hiremii technology. It's informed with interaction to Inverse business and the recruitment experts that we have. So we're not just a group who are building a product and hoping that customers will like it and use it. We're actually walking next door and talking to the recruitment team to understand how would this help their daily workflows, and we'll be embedding that into the Inverse business as we go forward. Synergies from scale economies and back office automation and cross-selling opportunities that I just touched on. So really, Inverse is acting as a springboard for the continued development of our products. So I think this is a key slide, and I think this is what everyone's interested to understand is, what are the key investment highlights? Why would you come and look to invest in Hiremii. So as we touched on in earlier at the beginning, AI is on the tips of everyone's tongue at the moment. It feels like this is moving extremely quickly, and those who can grasp it and use AI to automate manual processes, we think are going to be the ones that really come out on top here, particularly when it comes to talent. Now, our exposure there is extremely good. We are actively using AI in those processes. We're not sort of trying to do it. We're actually there now. So we've already integrated with OpenAI's GPT-3, sorry, and we're just learning around how best to use that. So the skill at the moment is in how you call for information to get as accurate information as you can. That's driving recruitment work automation and enhanced customer experience. And I'll touch on some of the trials, hopefully through the Q&A section. So a near-term catalyst for us, Q3 is the launch of Shortlist. So we're currently in commercial trials at the moment with a number of organizations, and they're anything from a listed technology company, a large privately owned business with around 600 people, a global diversified mining services organization. So we're currently in really good trials, and we're getting some excellent feedback and validation that our proprietary AI, the shortlisting engine room, is working really well. It's actually making life a lot easier for some of those trial customers already. So we're in full commercialization mode, and we have customers currently on the platform. Recruitment subsidiary Inverse continues to grow profitably, and we're confident of meeting those growth targets. So you can see there the growth that we've had. The investment in people has really happened in Q2 and Q1 of this year. In terms of recruitment, you usually see a 3 to 6 months until you start to see a real impact on the bottom line of a good quality recruitment business. We're hiring excellent consultants, and we think we'll start to see those results flowing through fairly soon. And that will underpin the ambitious target we've got, certainly for full year 24. So we're very excited about that. Our exposure to high growth sectors, such as the renewable energy, in-demand commodities, technology with low risk, long-term contracts, is very, very appealing. So if I could be as bold as to say the recruitment business here went to sleep, for the rest of the financial year, we're still going to hit a record year. So it's a very strong underlying business. So we've got automation being built on deep industry expertise that gives Hiremii a market-leading competitive advantage. So from there on, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the presentation today. I'd certainly welcome some questions, and certainly welcome investors and potential investors to reach out to find out a little bit more about the exciting stuff that we're doing in Hiremii. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew, for the great presentation. And webinar attendees can use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen if you've got questions, but we've got a few, so let me jump into them. So as we've seen from the presentation, the company's had a transformational first half. Can shareholders expect the same or similar results for the second half?
Yeah, for sure. So as shareholders will know, the results in the first half and the results up to this point have been coming through from a growing recruitment subsidiary Inverse. As I've intimated in the presentation, we've made some really key investments there with good people. We have a great client base, a diversified client base, and we're certainly confident that the results going forward will continue in the same line that investors have seen from Inverse and Hiremii in the past 6 months. So to answer your question, Jane, yes, we're confident of our performance going forward.
Thanks, Andrew. Next one. So we know that the company has the first mover advantage with the specialist AI tech for the recruitment industry. I think this is to the competitive landscape. So are you seeing anyone head into this space?
Look, we think because of the interest in AI, no doubt there's organizations that are out there looking at how they automate some of their processes at the moment. And people are talking about it within the recruitment industry. Big organizations are talking about it as well. Now, in terms of where we're at, so over the last 12 months, we've been working with our data scientists to create our own proprietary AI. And this is what really powers Shortlist. And it's a really powerful, complex set of knowledge graphs, which ultimately enable our AI to genuinely act like a 10, 15, 20-year recruitment person would. So it takes a lot of investment in that space, a lot of expenditure, a lot of time, and a lot of skill. So no doubt there is interest globally. We haven't seen anyone who is able to currently address about 60% of a recruitment process using automation. So we haven't seen that yet. In certain parts of the world, particularly North America, we have seen some advancements similar to Hiremii. I think in North America, they've grasped the opportunity a lot quicker. So you see a company like Hiremii, maybe they're worth 50, 70 million USD because of the landscape. Maybe it's a bit more forward in technology terms in the US.
So further on with that then, so does the embrace of AI globally pose a competitive threat to Hiremii, or does it increase the overall adoption?
I think, look, we're confident it's going to increase overall adoption. So if you think about, I was on the bus yesterday. I'm just heading to a meeting, and there's two chaps there with audit t-shirts on, talking about GPT and how it's both presenting challenge to their business and opportunity. And I think with that, and with the investment from Microsoft and Google, it's becoming part of everyone's daily workflows. And it's presenting us with a really good opportunity to have those conversations in a positive way with customers. I think people are starting to get comfortable with how this can help them. So if it's helping you write a better job ad, or it's helping you write better content, or it's helping you with your spelling and grammar in emails or something like that, it is forming part of everyone's daily workflows. So we're very confident that it's the right time to be adopting AI and automation into recruitment processes and other processes as well.
Thanks, Andrew. So during the half year, you reported that you were continuing to invest in high caliber recruiting consultants to deliver the increasing pipeline of demand from the client base. Can you just expand a little bit on the client base and what type of roles you're seeing advertised in the market?
Yeah, so just going back to the slide that people saw there, we're nicely distributed between energy and resources, and that's traditional energy in the form of oil and gas, which is actually in demand again at the moment. I think as the world realizes that the energy transition will take a bit longer than we were hoping for, and also the mining exposure that we have is a lot more in sort of mineral processing and battery metals as well. So in terms of we have seen an adoption of large scale clients, and those customers have been coming to Inverse. We're really proud of that. And to manage the demand on the team and on us to deliver, we've built a fantastic team. We have mainly built a principal consultant level team, which is they go out 360, engage with customers, come back, they have great networks. And that gives us a competitive advantage, I think, in a good market. But also if we start to see a soften in the market going forward, we think we're very, very well positioned to continue our growth, even in a softer market. And to be honest, it would be great to see a softer market in personnel at the moment, because it enables us to find and attract people a bit easier for those customers.
Thanks, Andrew. There's one just on expansion. So do you have plans to expand geographically, such as into the US?
In terms of Hiremii technology, global expansion is a definite on the cards that we'd like to do, because we see Inverse as being a WA-centric type of business, the focus there is market share. We've got the commodity, energy, resourcing companies to be able to do that. We also have the team to be able to deliver it internally. We can double the size of the business with minimal investment in people. We've set it up in that sense. So that's quite exciting. Hiremii technology, at the moment, we have a really good national opportunity. So the AI that we've built has been built on Australian language, effectively. So we were actually in conversation yesterday just about what do we need to do to be able to get that language to work on a global basis, for example. It was an opportunity we were exploring. And the shift to that is fairly clear for us. And we see the product being a global product at some point in the future. So whether we're working with a healthcare business in Sydney or whether we're working with a mining business in Perth, the opportunity is exactly the same. It's just the channel and the route to market.
Just sticking with Inverse now, who of course are the market leaders in recruitment to the oil and gas and resources sectors. So that division has delivered consistent growth over the past 5 years, including over 144% revenue growth in this first half. Can we see that continuing into the second half?
I think we'll have a good second half of the year. We're certainly invested in the right team with the right clients to be able to deliver continued growth. As I said, we're ambitious. We're not a fly-by-night business. We're full of extremely talented people within that part of the organization. So confident of our growth going forward.
Okay, so technology commercialization lead has been onboarded and engaging with the growing pipeline of customer opportunities. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of these opportunities?
Yeah, so look, having somebody who's externally focused has been fantastic. We are now in a position where we're talking to customers and we're engaging with potential customers on a daily basis. I'll just touch on two of the commercial trials that we're working through at the moment. And what I mean by commercial trials is we're working with those organizations to validate whether our AI can assist them in their process, and then we'll be working through terms into a commercial agreement. Just two examples of where we are harnessing AI in a process, and we're really excited. So one particular organization is a privately owned, 600 people. They have operations around Australia. So they are or were looking for a procurement officer, for example. So someone who's going to come into the organization and help with their purchasing around Australia. So they had 147 applicants. Instead of their internal HR person having to sift through those and put them into certain criteria, which they said would take about 6 to 8 hours or approximately 1 day, they passed us 147 CVs. We put it into our system, we ranked, we passed it back to those guys, and they are currently in the interview process. So the 9 people that we came up with in our shortlist, they've identified 4, and they're now in the interview process. Now, we have already solved 60% of their work. We've taken that from 8 hours time to probably less than 15 minutes for that particular person. If you think about that organization going and using a recruitment consultancy, it's probably $12,000 to $15,000 to place that whole role. So there's a large chunk there. If you extrapolate that by 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, that's a lot of time saved and a lot of cash as well. Another one, so a listed technology business. This was a test trial. So the previous one was a live trial. This one's a test trial. So this particular organization hired a customer success manager within their business. They came to us anonymously with their CV applicants. There was 43. What they've done is they provided us with 43. We've put it into our system. We've provided back to them a shortlist of 10. Within that shortlist of 10, the 6 people they identified as potential hires existed in that shortlist. The person that they hired was number 2. Now, they said between the team of people who reviewed the CVs, that would have saved about 12 hours. So these are just 2 very different processes, a different number of CVs in different industries, but where we've been able to demonstrate to those guys early that we can save them a lot of time. Now, thus, we're now starting to work through what does the commercial model look like for that particular organization. Both of those companies have come to us with more roles. Hey, we like what you guys are doing. This is saving us a hell of a lot of time and will save us money as well. So it's validating what we're doing. Coming back in, and then the commercialization person's taking those examples through to case studies into more organizations and large organizations. That's just 2 examples. We're actually talking to maybe 6 to 8 quite firm companies at the moment as well. So, and that's going to be building exponentially. So it's going to be a capacity issue for us fairly soon.
Thanks, Andrew. That actually leads me into my next question then. So what should shareholders look forward to over the coming 3 to 6 months?
So, well, what shareholders have seen so far is continued sustainable growth in the inverse business, and shareholders can look forward to that over the next 3 to 6 months. What we're excited about, and I think what shareholders are interested in, is how do we demonstrate that we're commercializing AI at a really interesting time. So over the next 3 to 6 months, the focus will be on more clearly articulating for investors, potential investors, and anyone that's interested, that Hiremii is commercializing the use of AI, particularly with our proprietary AI model, integrated with, as a support, things like ChatGPT. So we hope that in the coming weeks, we'll provide an update around more context around those trial customers. We are expecting at least some of those trial customers to lead to commercial customers. And we think that's going to be a real milestone for the organization. And we think that's what investors are going to be interested in seeing. From there, we'll be building that customer base on the Hiremii Limited side, probably initially at least with a footprint in WA and nationally as well. So yeah, we're really excited about that. There's a very much a buzz around the office here. Great culture, great environment. And I think from those foundations, great work happens and is happening at the moment within Hiremii.
Well, Andrew, I think that's all we got time for today. So thank you everybody for joining us. And if we have missed any questions, please feel free to be in touch via the contact details on our website. But thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you, Jane. And thanks everyone for listening.